and to the people who chose absence.
In the audience, Donna and Gary Reeves felt those words like a blade. 6 years earlier, they had refused to meet him. The day Rachel brought Lucas home, she called her parents, hoping.
Mom, he's perfect. Please just come see him.
Donna's reply was ice, calling him not really ours before she hung up. Rachel stared at the receiver. The nursery suddenly too quiet. For 6 years, Donna and Gary never sent a birthday card, never visited, never even asked how Lucas was doing. But Rachel poured all her love into Lucas. Bedtime stories, science kits, and a love so fierce he never felt the lack. And now, standing before a national audience, Lucas was about to name the people who chose absence. Lucas celebrated every birthday with just his mother.
Mommy, why don't Grandma and Grandpa ever come?
They live far away, sweetheart. But I will always be right here.
After Lucas fell asleep, Rachel stared at an old photo of her parents.
Why can't you just love him?
By 5, Lucas was reading at a 3rd grade level. Rachel was his only audience, and she never let him feel the lack.
I drew a picture for Grandma and Grandpa. Can we send it?
Of course. I'll mail it right away.
At 7, Lucas won his first school spelling bee. Rachel hung the certificate on the fridge, but she celebrated alone. She stopped calling, stopped hoping. Her parents had made their choice, and she would make hers, to be enough. 5 years later, Lucas turned 12. The questions he used to ask with crayons now came with sharper edges.
Mom, I am not a kid anymore. Why don't my grandparents want to know me?
They made a choice. It wasn't about you. It was their own fears. I am sorry they can't see what I see.
Lucas sat very still, processing, then nodded.
Then I'll have to be so good they can't ignore me.
From then on, Lucas threw himself into schoolwork with a new intensity. By 14, he was tutoring high school students in math. Rachel watched him grow, proud but worried he was running from something.
They'll see. One day, they'll have to see.
Rachel found him studying late one night. She placed a hand on his shoulder.
You don't have to prove anything to them, baby. You are already enough for me.
Lucas turned 16. His name already whispered in honor roll circles. One evening at a school open house, Rachel heard a teacher remark, Lucas's grandparents have been calling the office, asking about his tests. They sound so proud.
After 16 years, now they want to know.
That same month, Lucas won the regional science fair. The trophy sat on his desk, catching the lamplight, another medal no grandparent would see.
I wonder if they'll hear about this one.
A few weeks later, his teacher handed out flyers for the National Merit Scholarship. A full ride, the kind of chance that could change everything.
Mom, this scholarship could pay for everything. I am going to win it.
Lucas began his application that night, pouring months into essays and forms. Rachel would find him at dawn, still revising.
You are running on fumes, Lucas.
Rachel knew if he won, her parents might finally try to claim him. She prayed she was wrong. One Saturday morning, a thick envelope arrived with the foundation's gold seal. Inside, the words he'd dreamed of. We are pleased to inform you, a full ride.
Mom, I won. Full ride. Everything.
I never doubted you. Not for a second.
The foundation invited family to the ceremony. Lucas's application essay had been about Rachel. Now, he made a decision.
I am putting Grandma and Grandpa on the guest list. They need to hear this.
Are you sure? They've never once shown up, Lucas.
They'll come now. And then, they'll have to listen. I need them to hear what I wrote.
Donna and Gary received the formal invitation. They called Rachel within the hour, voices giddy with excitement.
We are so proud. Our grandson, a national scholar. We wouldn't miss it for the world. He's finally getting the recognition he deserves.
The next afternoon, Donna and Gary appeared on Rachel's doorstep, holding a gift basket and wearing smiles like costumes.
We brought a little something for our genius. It's not every day a boy makes the family proud.
The family? You've never once set foot in this house for him.
Gary shifted, uncomfortable, but Donna's smile didn't waver.
Let's not dwell on the past, Rachel. We're here now, and that's what matters.
From the hallway, Lucas listened, his knuckles white around the doorframe. Later, Rachel cornered Donna in the kitchen, voice low and shaking.
You only came because there's an audience now. You didn't care when it was just us.
That's not fair. We've always loved him in our own way. We just weren't ready.
Ready. You had 6 years.
That night, Lucas sat at his desk until the words felt like stone. He printed the final essay and carried it to Rachel.
It's ready. Read it, Mom.
Rachel's eyes moved down the page. Her hand went to her mouth as she read the line, Donna and Gary Reeves chose absence.
Lucas, you put their names in here. You are going to say this in front of everyone?
They need to hear it. Everyone needs to hear it. It's not about revenge, Mom. It's the truth.
This could start a fire. We can't put out. Are you prepared for that?
I've spent 6 years wishing they'd show up. They're showing up now. They'll listen.
He's braver than I ever was. Then I'll stand with you. Whatever happens next, we face it together.
Rachel handed back the pages, her heart heavy but proud. The ceremony was 3 days away. 2 days before the ceremony, the phone rang at Rachel's house. Lucas answered.
Lucas, sweetheart, I just know your essay is going to be wonderful. You'll mention family, won't you?
Family is the whole point, Grandma. You'll hear it.
Donna took it as a promise, her voice brightening. She didn't hear the steel beneath his words. Later, Rachel ran into Gary at a grocery store. He glanced at her cart, then at the floor.
You came to the house, but you still haven't said a word about the past 6 years.
I don't know what to say, Rachel. I'm sorry.
Rachel pushed her cart past him. The apology was too small and more than a decade too late. The night before the ceremony, Lucas set his essay folder on the nightstand and lay down. His breathing was even. Rachel stood in the doorway, watching him sleep. Whatever the morning brought, her son was ready. The morning of the ceremony, Rachel straightened Lucas's tie, her fingers steady.
Do you think they'll actually stay for the whole thing?
They'll stay. You'll make sure of it.
At the venue, they walked through the grand double doors, the hum of the crowd already in the air. Donna and Gary were already in the second row, waving like they'd never missed a single milestone.
I'll be in the back, right where I belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Merit Scholarship Ceremony. We are here to honor extraordinary young minds.
Backstage, Lucas pressed his folder to his chest, his lips moving soundlessly over the words. In the back row, Rachel clasped her hands until her knuckles whitened.
Our first scholar tonight is someone who wrote an essay that truly moved us. Please welcome Lucas Coleman.
The spotlight found Lucas as he walked to the podium, applause cresting then falling to silence. He opened his folder and found his mother's face in the back row. Her chin lifted.
My first and deepest thanks is to my mother, Rachel Coleman. She is the reason I am standing here.
In the back, Rachel pressed a hand to her heart, tears slipping onto her plum blazer. Donna and Gary sat forward, faces stretched with pride, waiting for their turn.
But family isn't always blood. Sometimes, family is who shows up when it matters.
The air changed. Audience members leaned forward, sensing a darker current.
What is he doing?
I want to talk about the people who chose absence, who had every chance and took none.
Donna's hand went to her throat. Gary's face drained of color. Rachel in the back gripped the armrest.
For 6 years, my birthdays had one voice singing. No card, no call from those who should have been there.
Donna's knuckles went white on the armrest. Gary stared at his polished shoes.
Every Christmas, every school play, my mother was both parents. She never let me feel the lack.
Rachel's tears fell, but her spine stayed straight. She had earned this moment.
She taught me that love is a verb, something you do, not something you claim.
The audience began to murmur. Heads turned. Eyes found the second row. Donna's hand flew to her mouth. A tear traced the path of her rouge.
So today, I thank by name the people who showed up, who made me who I am.
The silence stretched like a wire. No one breathed. The next words would echo for years. And then Lucas spoke them. Lucas inhaled. I am grateful to his voice hung in the air. Unfinished. Donna's head swiveled, her eyes darting around the room, as if looking for an exit. Gary squeezed his eyes shut, his shoulders curling inward as if bracing for impact. Rachel's knuckles were bone white, but her chin stayed lifted, her gaze steady on her son.
He's not going to say our names, is he?
The silence stretched. a taut wire between the boy at the podium and the two people who had refused to know him. Lucas let his eyes travel across the audience, pausing for an instant on the second row. No one coughed, no one breathed. The entire auditorium became a held breath. Rachel's hands trembled, but her smile never wavered, a single tear dropping onto her lap. And then he said the words that would change everything.
Lucas's voice rang out clear and steady. I am grateful to Donna and Gary Reeves.
A pin could have been heard dropping before the room erupted in a single, collective gasp. Donna's hand flew to her mouth, smearing her red lipstick as her eyes bulged in horror. Gary stared into some unfathomable distance, his skin pale as bone, his mouth slack.
Lucas completed the sentence, his voice never wavering. For showing me, by your absence, exactly what love is not.
The audience swiveled, 100 necks craning toward the second row, whispers hissing like snakes. Donna let out a choked sob, her shoulders heaving. Gary slumped forward, head in his hands. In the back row, Rachel wept openly, but her chin was high, a smile of painful triumph on her lips. Lucas set down his paper and looked directly at the two people who had refused to be his family. The silence that followed was a physical weight, 6 years of absence finally given a voice. Donna's sobs broke the stillness, raw and ugly. She pressed her handkerchief against her face, but the sound leaked through. Gary didn't move. He sat like a stone, eyes open and unseeing, his hands limp in his lap. The audience shifted, a rustle of fabric and awkward coughs. No one knowing where to look, Lucas stood at the podium, his hands resting on the wood, waiting without a trace of cruelty. He let the silence stretch, let everyone in the room feel the gravity of what had been said. Donna's shoulders shook with each choked cry. Gary finally covered his face with both hands. Rachel watched, her hands now opened and peaceful on her lap, her tears drying. For the first time in 6 years, the room felt exactly what she had felt every single day, loneliness. But now, she wasn't alone. Lucas glanced down at his essay, then back at his grandparents, his expression unreadable. The first 6 years of his life had been defined by their silence. The next few seconds would be defined by his. Lucas set down his paper and looked at Donna and Gary. His eyes held not accusation, but invitation.
There's still time to choose.
Donna stared, tears falling. A flicker of something besides shame crossed her face. Gary slowly raised his head, his eyes fixed on Lucas for the first time in 6 years.
You can stay, but you have to choose it now.
In the back, Rachel pressed her hand to her heart. Her son had offered what she never could. Donna's hand moved, almost reaching out, her lips forming a soundless word. Gary looked at his wife, then at the boy, his jaw working, no words coming. The entire room seemed to lean toward the second row, waiting for their answer. Lucas waited, hand extended, patient as stone. And Rachel knew, whatever they chose, her son had already won. Donna's hand moved first. She nodded, a tiny broken motion, and struggled to her feet. She reached for Gary's arm and pulled him up. He stumbled, but did not resist, his eyes never leaving Lucas. They walked to 2 empty seats aside from where they'd sat. Awkward, humbled, they lowered themselves into new chairs. Lucas dropped his hand slowly, a solemn nod. Then he picked up his essay again.
Love is a choice. It's not inherited. It's chosen daily by the people who show up and stay.
He set the paper down. For a moment, the room was a held breath. Then someone began to clap. Another joined. Then 2 more, until the entire auditorium erupted into a standing ovation. Not for the scholarship, for the act of grace. In the back, Rachel was on her feet, hands slapping together, tears carving paths down her cheeks. Donna brought both hands to her face, body shaking with sobs that now held relief. Gary sat rigid, but his head was bowed in something like prayer. Lucas had taken 6 years of silence and turned it into a lesson none of them would ever forget. The applause faded. Rachel found Lucas first, pulling him into a crushing embrace, their tears mingling on her plum blazer.
We did it, Mom. You and me.
Over Lucas's shoulder, Rachel saw Donna and Gary hovering at the edge of the room, smaller than she remembered.
Lucas, I don't have the words.
It's okay. We start from here.
Donna took his hand, her fingers trembling over his. She nodded, a sob catching in her throat. Rachel stepped forward, locking eyes with her mother, not forgiveness but acknowledgement. A long, silent nod passed between them. Gary moved closer, silent as ever, but when he looked at Rachel, he nodded too, a wordless apology. The four of them stood in the emptying hall, the silence no longer a weapon, just unfamiliar ground. Then they walked out together, not hand in hand, but side by side, the first steps of a road no one could map. 6 years, Rachel celebrated his birthdays alone, without a card, without a call. But at the ceremony, Lucas reframed that silence into a lesson everyone understood. The ovation wasn't for his grades, it was for the character built in absence. Later, Donna and Gary sat alone in the empty hall, surrounded by the silence they'd chosen. No audience now, just the echo of a boy's voice naming them. For the first time, they felt the full weight of what they had refused. Rachel drove home with Lucas beside her, the evening air warm through the open window. She didn't need an apology. Her son's dignity was the only justice she required. In their living room, Donna finally spoke, but the words landed on empty chairs. By sunset, mother and son sat on the porch, a quiet victory settling around them. The porch swing creaked softly as Rachel replayed the day in her mind, the essay, the gasp, the applause.
That standing ovation wasn't for his grades. It was for who he became.
She pictured Lucas at the podium, small and strong, using his pain to build something beautiful. All the birthdays, the school plays, the nights she sat alone cheering, they led to this.
I always knew you were special, but today you proved it to the world.
I proved it to them. But I already had everything I needed, right here.
Rachel didn't answer. She pulled him close, and the silence between them was the most complete sound she had ever known.
I didn't need an apology. His dignity was the only justice I required.
The moon rose higher, and the last tension left her shoulders. After 6 years, Rachel could finally rest. Donna and Gary returned to a house that felt smaller, the silence heavier than ever before.
I was wrong, Gary. We were wrong. For 6 years, we had a grandson, and we chose pride.
He never needed us. That's the worst part. He became who he is without us.
They sat in the quiet, the confession hanging between them like smoke. Donna reached for the scholarship photo they'd displayed. Lucas smiling, diploma in hand.
He was the most remarkable person in that room, and we almost missed it forever.
We didn't miss it. He made us see it, and it cost us everything.
Some choose late, but the choice itself has a price. Years they can never get back. The scholarship photo sat on the mantel now, a new weight, a reminder of grace they didn't earn. The house settled into darkness. Somewhere across town, a mother and son slept in peace. Weeks later, the phone rang. Donna's voice was thin, barely a whisper.
Rachel, I know we don't have the right, but could we come over just for a little while?
Sunday afternoon, 2 hours, no gifts, no grand gestures, just time.
Sunday came. Donna and Gary stood on the porch they had never crossed, their hands empty. Rachel opened the door. The threshold held 6 years of silence. They sat on the porch swing, the boards creaking under the unfamiliar weight.
I wrote what I did because it was true. But I also meant what I said at the end, about starting from here.
We know we don't deserve it, Lucas, but we want to try, if you'll let us.
Not forgiveness, not yet, but a door left open. And for now, that was enough. Love is a choice, not a birthright. Some learn it early. Some learn it early, some learn it late. The scholarship letter named them, but it was the boy who wrote it who taught them what family means. Rachel and Lucas sat on the porch, the same porch where she'd once watched him draw pictures for grandparents who never came. Now he was 17, a national scholar, and the author of the truth that cracked open a 6-year silence. She reached over and took his hand. He didn't pull away.
You know what I am most proud of? Not the scholarship. That you became someone who could offer grace.
The sun dipped below the roofline, casting long shadows across the lawn. The world was quiet. They didn't know if Donna and Gary would ever truly become family. Some questions have no easy answers, but today on this porch they had everything they needed. The camera slowly draws back from the porch, the house glowing like a beacon in the fading light. Love is a choice, made every day, and on this day it won.